Many of the things that Prince William says in this are things that other people and sources have stated to us about him and his thought process on many issues. We work with Prince William, and we watch him up close. The thing that I found to be the most fascinating was listening to him. Imagine for a moment that everything you believed you knew about the royal family of the United Kingdom was suddenly turned on its head. Overnight, Prince William has been quietly preparing for the throne behind closed doors. Now, sources have revealed that the moment that the entire world has been waiting for is closer than anyone could have imagined it would be. According to reports, King Charles' health is rapidly deteriorating. It is believed that Camilla is in utter disbelief. Where is William? He has already begun to make power plays that have caused Buckingham Palace to be rattled to its very foundations. Insiders are referring to this as the most significant royal shake-up in the history of contemporary times. Please remain with me because the information that you are about to hear will completely alter the way that you view the monarchy. Unofficially crowned as king, William was already in possession of the throne, but only in legal terms. To begin, let's take a look at the big news that has been discreetly making its way through royal circles in Britain and beyond. It has been reported by sources within the palace that Prince William has been functioning as an unofficial king for a considerable amount of time, particularly in light of the fact that his father is still chronically unwell. In a straightforward manner, an insider stated that the organization is making emotional preparations for a transition, despite the fact that the paperwork have not yet been resolved. Give this some thought for a second. According to individuals who are aware with the inner workings of the palace, the individual who is theoretically still the Prince of Wales is already taking the lead. This is not merely a reckless assertion made by a tabloid that is trying to attract attention. The newsletter that Rob Shooter publishes was informed by a source with extensive connections that King Charles is anticipated to give the crown over to William inside the preceding year. It is hoped that this transition would be both measured and carried out with dignity. What is particularly remarkable is the background information that is associated with the incident. The news that King Charles had been diagnosed with cancer was announced by Buckingham Palace at the beginning of the year 2024. In the time since then, Prince William has assumed a much greater number of responsibilities that involve the public. During the time that his father was taking a step back, he has taken on additional responsibilities, made decisions, and progressively established himself as the face of the monarchy's future. When the formal transition takes place, it will feel less like surrender and more like an inevitability, according to individuals who are familiar about royal matters. The monarchy does not exist by being forced to adapt, rather, it survives by adjusting to different circumstances. William has spent his whole life being prepared for this job, and every plausible indication implies that he is not sitting around doing nothing while he waits for the crown to be placed on his head. In its place, he is already wearing it, albeit discreetly, with strategic clarity and purpose, which has astonished a lot of people. The circumstance, on the other hand, gets even more complicated. Although William is discreetly consolidating his influence, not everyone in the palace is positive about the developments that are taking place. This brings us to the individual who, according to reports, presents the biggest risk in this dynamic that is constantly shifting. This is the heartbreaking response that Camilla had, "Don't do this to me." According to reports, Queen Camilla's reaction has been everything but calm, despite the fact that William's climb to fame has been steady and planned. Those with knowledge of the matter disclosed to Radar Online that Camilla was dissatisfied with the manner in which William and Kate handled the situation with Prince Andrew's departure from public life. When King Charles consented to offer William greater influence, Camilla, who was in a state of distress, conveyed her despair and stated that she did not want this to take place, according to one source. Regardless of how seriously one takes this account, a number of different sources build a picture that is overall consistent and comprehensive. It has been said that Camilla takes great pride in her responsibilities and has always had the desire to become queen, hence, the concept of giving up authority seems premature to her. She has no intention of relegating herself to a secondary role or becoming obsolete. It has been stated that she has had feelings of marginalization and resentment as a result of the idea that William and Kate are presenting themselves as the power couple of the monarchy. In the opinion of a person with knowledge of the situation, Camilla is of the opinion that the Waleses have made a huge power move by advocating for Prince Andrew's removal from Royal Lodge, which has effectively marginalized her in the process of decision-making. Camilla's inner circle is of the opinion that William and Kate have maneuvered themselves into a position of power, leaving her with the impression that she is merely a spectator. This is the case regardless of whether or not this was the objective of William and Kate. According to reports, senior royals are bringing to Camilla's attention the fact that the Waleses will soon be in charge. According to one source, when Kate becomes queen, Camilla will be effectively at her mercy in terms of the perks and influence she enjoys within the institution. This is a brutal reality check for a woman who has waited for decades to wear the crown, and it helps explain why those who are close to the royal family describe the relationship between Camilla and Kate as toxic. A royal conflict that has escalated to a nuclear level is the enmity between Kate and Camilla. Let's dive deeper into the developing problem between Princess Kate and Queen Camilla, which appears to involve more than just a disagreement about the seating arrangements for supper. There are a number of publications that describe their relationship as a quarrel that is becoming increasingly acrimonious. It has been stated that the two women are unable to remain in the same room for longer than is required. To ensure that they remain separate, the courtiers have been changing their itineraries. According to reports, the state visit that was made by President Donald Trump of the United States of America was the source of this conflict. The atmosphere was heated, and every gesture and color choice felt like a power move, according to those who were inside the situation, who spoke to Closer. Kate was able to swiftly attract the attention of everyone. Melania Trump, the First Lady, was accompanied by her, and she was the center of attention. Sources within the palace have stated that Camilla was aware of this and was not pleased with it. It was stated by some with knowledge of the situation that Camilla was still furious about the state banquet. Camilla believed that Kate's choice of tiara conveyed a very symbolic message, effectively signaling that it wouldn't be long before Kate became queen. The fact that this dispute is not simply about two people who despise each other is one of the things that gives it a particularly significant significance. A genuine power battle for influence and image within the diminishing royal landscape is at the heart of the difference between the two women, and neither of them is willing to give in to the other. There is a consensus among all indications that Kate will emerge victorious in this conflict. Camilla's actions in public situations has substantially affected William's relationship with his stepmother, according to sources who claim Kate believes Camilla has to loosen up. This is the position that Kate holds, according to the sources. A modern monarchy with a little r was William's vision for the future. In light of the fact that this facet of the narrative is quite fascinating, let us change our attention to the kind of king that William aspires to be. Not only has William been making preparations to take over the throne, but he has also been making preparations to be the one to reform it. During his interview on Eugene Levy's The Reluctant Traveler, William made it clear that he is open to change, namely change that is for the better. Not only does he welcome this shift, but he does not dread it. He made it clear that he is not planning anything that could be considered excessively extreme. However, he is of the opinion that certain traditions ought to be investigated in order to evaluate whether or not they are still applicable in this day and age. Insiders within the royal family have provided light on what this actually entails in practice. As reported by Rebecca English, the royal editor of the Daily Mail, she is anticipating a drop in the amount of pomp and ceremony that will be conducted. However, this does not mean completely abandoning these customs, rather, it means streamlining features that William thinks to be outdated. This will result in shorter rituals with less extravagance, such as fewer plumes and less velvet. It was also mentioned by English that William intends to make the royal household more efficient and to alter the process by which royal warrants are granted. His intention is to determine whether or not practices that have been in place for a long time continue to be suitable. It has been claimed that he intends to cut back on the number of public engagements he participates in, but he wants the ones he does participate in to have a deeper significance. During this change, the focus would shift away from performative activities such as ribbon-cutting ceremonies and toward work that is more profound and impacts more people. According to William, this method of performing royal tasks is a more subordinate function within the royal family. During an interview with Sky News in South Africa, he highlighted his intention to make things different for his generation from what they are currently doing. As opposed to a monarchy that hides behind velvet ropes and expects the public to bow, he envisions a monarchy that is friendly and available to the general population. Rob Shuder, a reporter for the royal family, was able to speak with a source who stated that William operates with strategy rather than sentiment. Neither forgetfulness nor forgiveness come naturally to him. A breach of trust with him could have severe repercussions. The kind of king that Britain has been accustomed to is significantly different from this approach, which marks a big break. Camilla is apparently feeling apprehensive about this strategic and no-nonsense mentality, which will be discussed further below. This was William's first major power maneuver, and it was the Andrew crisis. It is sufficient to analyze how William handled the scandal involving Prince Andrew in order to comprehend the manner in which he will rule. In his capacity as the de facto head of the monarchy, this circumstance served as his first significant test, and he tackled it with a brutal and efficient attitude. According to those with knowledge of the situation, King Charles was apparently inclined to give his brother the benefit of the doubt. However, King William pushed immediate action and advocated for Andrew's entire departure from public life. This strategy serves to emphasize a significant distinction. William's strategy was founded on cold, harsh realism, which eventually ensured that his perspective triumphed. Charles, on the other hand, led with his heart by taking the initiative. Jenny Bond, who had previously worked as a royal correspondent for the BBC, made the observation that Prince William is resolute in his efforts to modernize the monarchy. He is clearly separating himself from Andrew and making an effort to engage with people from all walks of life. This attitude was shared by royal author Robert Jobson, who stated that it is highly improbable that William will allow disorder to eclipse service. Jobson also predicted that William's reign will be more disciplined and probably more decisive than that of his father. The scenario with Andrew also brought to light the widening distance that exists between William and Camilla. It has been reported that Camilla interpreted William and Kate's efforts to expel Andrew from Royal Lodge, which is located in close proximity to their residence at Forest Lodge, as an attempt to seize control. It seemed to her that they were trying to force the matter and that she was not included in the decision-making process. To add insult to injury, there are worries over Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie. According to the reliable sources, William had the intention of keeping the York family out of the public eye until after the next health evaluation that King Charles would undergo. Charles, on the other hand, was of the opinion that the family ought to heal in public, a choice that was said to have startled courtiers and frustrated William, who considers the Yorks to be politically contentious. It is therefore reasonable to anticipate that King William will adopt a pattern of decisive action, a zero-tolerance stance to controversy, and a commitment to prioritize what he considers to be the best for the institution over his personal ties. This represents a completely different attitude to leadership, as it stands in stark contrast to the reins that were held by both his late father and his late grandmother. Kate, the hidden weapon who brought about a complete transformation. It is impossible to talk about William's rise to power without mentioning Kate, as she is widely considered to be the most important part of the entire operation, as stated by almost every insider and royal observer. Russell Myers, a renowned author, was quoted in Hello! Magazine that Kate is crucial to the functioning of the monarchy, and that her upbringing in the middle class enables her to understand life beyond the courtyards of the palace, which is something that William places a great deal of importance on. The idea that Kate supports her husband's concept of running the monarchy more like a company has been confirmed by those with knowledge of the situation. The couple's immediate priorities include ensuring stability for both their family and the nation that they live in. It is not enough to say that she is only a spouse who provides support in the background, she is actively molding the destiny of the monarchy. The royal expert Hilary Fordwich noted that Kate will play a significant role in the evolution of the monarchy, particularly when their children go through their formative years. From behind the scenes, it is anticipated that she will become an increasingly influential figure. Kate's tenacity is the quality that genuinely sets her apart from others. She returned to public life with a drive that won a large amount of admiration from the general public when she had to deal with her own cancer diagnosis and medical treatment. In light of the fact that she has been working hard to maintain the monarchy's unity while simultaneously handling her own personal health issues, it is believed by sources that she is of the opinion that the monarchy requires unity and firm leadership at this difficult era. A person with knowledge of the situation described Kate as someone who has provided unwavering support to William during the months of challenging conversations and challenging decisions. As is only natural, it has been a significant burden for her. However, she has not broken down or retreated in any way. On the contrary, she has made herself even more formidable. Emily, a pundit on royal affairs who is featured in Hello! It was pointed out in a publication that the strength of William and Kate's partnership is the greatest factor contributing to their success. They are providing their children with a loving and stable childhood, which hopefully will provide long-term stability to the royal family. Their characters complement each other, and they are providing their children with a harmonious upbringing. Kate will not only be Queen Consort when William becomes King William V, but she will also be a co-architect of a radically reinvented monarchy because of her role in the royal family. This instance in the history of the royal family is genuinely unparalleled. Things to come. How the United Kingdom will appear under King William's rule. Now, where does all of this ultimately lead? The question is, when William ultimately ascends to the throne, what will the actual appearance of the monarchy be? In the event that Charles passes away, William will immediately succeed to the throne. Consequently, Prince George, his eldest son, will be elevated to the position of heir apparent and will be the first in line to the throne. Following his inauguration as monarch, it is anticipated that William would make his way to London in order to deliver his first address to the nation. As a result of the fact that there have been 4 prior kings in British history who were named William, it is commonly predicted that William will continue his reign as King William V. During this time, Kate will be elevated to the position of Queen Catherine. When she first becomes recognized, she will be referred to as the Queen Consort. However, in the long run, she will be known simply as the Queen. Concerning the coronation, preparations will be made for the ritual that will take place. On the other hand, a number of reports indicate that it will be much different from his father's. It is likely to be shorter, less elaborate, and more approachable to regular people. It has been suggested that William intends to manage the monarchy more like a business, with an emphasis on responsibility, transparency, and their overall mission. It would appear that the days are coming to an end when the organization would hide behind centuries of tradition and hope that the public would not ask an excessive amount of questions. It is interesting to note that Afua Askienpong Hagen, a specialist on royal affairs, has indicated that William might not remove Harry and Meghan from their titles because he does not want that to be the defining act of his reign. William's concentration is on his humanitarian endeavors and building a meaningful legacy rather than settling old scores, she stated, and such a move would make him appear petty. She also argued that William's attention is on constructing a meaningful legacy. However, it is likely that some traditions will continue to exist. According to several sources, William and Kate are traditionalists at heart, and it is expected that special occasions such as Trooping the Colour, which have been held to commemorate the official birthday of the Queen for more than 260 years, will continue. As opposed to completely demolishing the structures that are already in place, the modifications will concentrate on making them more relevant. As for Camilla, it will ultimately be up to William to decide what official role, if any, his stepmother would play during his reign so that she can fulfill her responsibilities. According to those with knowledge of the situation, Charles made a final request to William, requesting that he provide Camilla complete access to royal privileges after his passing. There are certain stories that assert Camilla was involved in the design of that arrangement. There is no way to know for certain whether William will comply with that request. In spite of this, given what we know about his strategic approach to leadership, nothing will be guaranteed until it is in the best interest of the organization. The monarchy of the United Kingdom is on the verge of undergoing the most significant change in an extended period of time. The crown is not something that William is waiting to be given. He has already begun constructing the kingdom that he intends to rule. Every single one of Camilla's tears, power struggles, disputes, and scandals are chapters in a story that is ultimately going to reach a climax that is unavoidable. We are about to enter the age of King William V, and nothing will ever be the same during this time. If you found this video to be enlightening, make sure to ring the bell, subscribe to the channel, and hit the like button so that you don't miss the next update. Please leave a remark below. Are you of the opinion that William would be an excellent king? And in what capacity do you believe Camilla ought to be involved? What do you think about it?